And what's happening out there, guys? Welcome along to another episode of 420 News. Apologies there for the little stall on getting ready to go. And Martin gone in to check out. Please. Apologies, guys. Yeah, keep them waiting, isn't that to say fashionably late? Sorry, I was just sorting out one or two things in the background and looking for me bloody hat as well. So I'm here, guys. Welcome along to another episode of 420 News. 420 News is brought to you by Martin's World, and I'm your show host, Martin Condon. So, guys, I have, as you would expect, some news for you today, and I'm going to touch back to a news story I touched off of last week, or was it earlier in this week, where there was a 22-year-old who had got caught importing just over €500,000 worth of cannabis into Ireland. He was up before our buddy Judge Sean O'Donovan. And as I said, I will come back to this as it would come up. But very interestingly, Judge Sean O'Donovan has found it reasonable to give this guy a 5-year prison sentence. Now, this individual was... yeah, I did have a shave, actually, guys. This individual was 22 years of age. Again, as I say, he was probably taken advantage of over in maybe it was a Poland, I believe he was after originating from, and he travelled from Poland with the over €600,000 worth of cannabis concealed within the van he was travelling in. He got nabbed at the border. You know, he got caught down at the port when he got off the boat. Old drug dog Bailey was able to sniff him out. Again, you know, another way in which we as cannabis consumers get discriminated against, because if that was a load of cocaine inside of there, I don't think Bailey would have had an old nose in him to be able to detect that. But anyway, this individual, as I say, it would have been 22, preyed upon most likely by organised crime gangs. Now, yes, he probably stand to benefit from this, you know, if he wasn't to have gotten caught. But at the same time, he was taken advantage of. I can't help but think that was a possibility in this situation. You're over there in Poland, you're earning maybe, I don't know what the average income in Poland is like. Is it maybe €1,000 a month or something like that? I'm not too sure what it actually is, the average kind of income over there. But I would imagine €1,000 is probably a decent amount of money to be able to get over there, but I could be wrong. But imagine if you're an organised crime gang, you come along, this 22-year-old, and you say to him, come here, bud, what are you going working fucking 5 days a week, 40 hours for? Look here, we give you 15 grand there, look, hop into the van and drive on over to Ireland. And when you come back there, look, we'll give you another 5 grand there as well. Like, you know, 20 grand there for him to be transporting over what is worth effectively, if... do you know what the estimates of the Garda or anywhere near is 600,000. Like that's an awful lot of money, and 20,000 to pay to get somebody to transfer that over. It's not unreasonable amount of money to be paying someone either. So like it's a very unfortunate situation. And then you have to look at it that we as taxpayers now have to pay for this. Like, not only did we have to pay for the guards and drug dog Bailey and, you know, holding this individual, now he's been in the custody since March. So since March now we've been looking after this individual, and now we're going to look after him for another 5 bloody years. So that's a cost of another €500,000 to the taxpayers here in Ireland. €500,000. Like, are you happy with this? Is this good money spent? €500,000. What else could be done with €500,000 around Cork City or around the rest of Ireland? I would imagine there's probably services that could be provided in the less well-off areas. You know, again, I always use them as an example, but the likes of Gerard Rowe, like, he's an amazing individual, and services that he works for have been going incredibly underfunded. And here we are, sparing no expense to catch fellas bringing in what is a much desired herb. Like, how many adults across the island of Ireland actually want this? We want this. Like, we are not having any negative impacts upon our life from getting access to and using it unless we get caught with it, which is the problem. So the government need to sort that one out. But I suppose, interestingly enough, in this case, as I say, this was overseen by Judge Sean O'Donovan. So while he seemed fit to give this individual 5 years for bringing in €600,000 worth of cannabis, Judge Sean O'Donovan was also in the media yesterday because of another case he was overseeing. And I don't know, some of you might be aware of this other case that our buddy Assad was overseeing. But this was of the former scout leader David Barry, 72 years of age, who over the course of 20 years sexually assaulted boys from the age of 13 up to 16. Now, there was 29 sexual assault charges brought against him. There could have been more incidents happened, but this is what was brought against him inside in the courts yesterday, or however long it was. I just was really annoyed by this, but this is our buddy Sod here anyway, Sean O'Donovan, who oversaw both cases. And in this case, he gave this individual he gave him 7 years with 2 suspended. Now, this individual, he sexually assaulted, or you could even say raped, a load of young boys who were entrusted into his care by their parents, by the community, because he was a scout leader. He was a peace officer, a commissioner of peace here in the city also. Like, this guy had like a good standing within his community, and this is the crap that he was doing then. He was going and violating that trust. And after doing that, all he gets then is 5 years. Now, in fairness, the guy is 72, but I don't give a shit. Like, he sexually assaulted young boys. He preyed upon young boys. He plied them with alcohol. He got them drunk, and then he fondled with them and sexually assaulted some of them in showers and things like this. Absolutely horrible. He should have got 5 years per child he interfered with, per child he raped. Do you know, that's what he should have got? But Judge O'Donovan gave him a 7-year sentence with 2 years suspended. So this guy's going to be out by the time he's 77. You go back to the last case, you know, the young fella who was only 22 in the prime of his life, and he's going to have 5 years taken away from him also. Like, having 5 years taken away from you in the prime of your life versus having 5 years taken away from you when you're probably at the end of your life, and you fucking deserve it. The young fella 22 didn't deserve it. Like, he's going to be sitting in a cell saying, Jesus, I'm after getting caught with cannabis. I'm locked up for 5 years for cannabis. And meanwhile, he might get access to the Daily News, whatever newspaper to get afforded to inside in the prison. And he's reading stories about cannabis being legalised in places around Europe and in America, and companies being floated on stock exchange selling the exact same product he got caught with and is locked up for millions, if not billions of euros, you know? How much of a twisted world is it? Like, whereas for the old fella, 72, you know, he can go in and be like, yeah, look, I done something wrong, you know, like, you should be fucking locked up. You got lucky. And what to say about the judge? What in the name of God is up there with our judges? Because, like, and other cases overseen by Judge Sean O'Donovan included a one where he brought a drug dealer up. And this was a case on, I think the individual's name was Michael Tanner. Michael Tanner was below in Clonakilty, and apparently the cops were trying to catch this Michael Tanner. Like, he was a top-notch fucking criminal, like, you know what I mean? He was always one step ahead of the cops. 10 years the cops are quoted in chasing this individual Michael Tanner. 10 years the cops were paid by us to go and try to chase after this individual, when really the best way to tackle that individual is to legalise and regulate the products he was selling in the communities, you know? But no, unfortunately, we employ the guards to go and waste all our money and to target these guys, and we know it's a fruitless bloody effort. But anyway, the Michael Tanner, he got caught in possession of 77,000 euro worth of drugs. It was coke and cannabis resin he got caught with. So he got caught with 77,000 worth of coke and cannabis resin. Guess what he got? He got 15 years. He got 15 years. There was comments there by the judge, you know, saying that this guy is called untold misery for many people in his community. What's this guy done? Why does he give a guy who sells cocaine to consenting adults? Nobody's forced to consume cocaine. If you get addicted to cocaine, that's on you. That's not your drug dealer's fault, in fairness, you know? And then these judges go and kind of hold drug dealers responsible for the untold misery done in our society. The untold misery is done because of prohibition. People can't get access to a proper help and services once they're experiencing problematic drug use. That's prohibition. That's not the drug dealers, do you know? And then he gives your man 15 fucking years for that. Like, absolutely horrible. While, you know, a guy who literally raped young boys, kids entrusted into his care by their parents, by our community. You know, he was a scout leader. Like, he was at the top of the scouts as well, this guy, Dave Barry. And 5 years is what he got. Horrible stuff. Like, you know, and another case that I touched off of a few weeks ago as well was this individual above in Clare. This guy was selling coke or something above there. He gets 14 years for his crime. Like, again, consenting adults are coming to buy these products. Now I'm not condoning like what this individual done, because he was mixing his coke with shit like that. Again, that's caused by prohibition. Do you know? But for this guy to get 14 years, for the other drug dealer to be getting 15 years, and then for a man who sexually assaulted young bloody boys and trusted into his care by their parents, he only gets 5 years. We have a backwards fucking society, in fairness. And this individual, he gets 2 years suspended. He gets 5 years out of a 7-year sentence, and he's probably going to be out in maybe 2 or 3, because he's got health problems. He's got cardiac issues. He's not your regular prisoner, in fairness, you know. It's bloody backwards, guys. I just don't understand it. Like, and I know people just try to get up in arms really about some of these charges being brought against people for simple cannabis cases. Like, all right, it's 600,000 euros worth, but to get 5 years of his life. Come on, like, it's the government's fault. Like, if anything, like, you know, the government should be punished, because look, there's another, what's that? Put a 23% tax on that, like, and you're talking about maybe 120 to 150,000 euro there. That would have been for the taxpayers. The government should be bloody punished for missing out on this opportunity. But look, I'm gonna smoke a bowl after that one, because oh man, that's a horrible fucking case to be over, like, you know, giving it one fella 5 years for raping kids. Like, I just don't know how these judges do it at all. Like, the punishment should fit the crime. Like, if you rape young kids, that stays with them for life. That's something that it's going to be incredibly difficult for them to shake. Life is life, you know what I mean? If you fuck somebody up for life, then you should be locked up for life. If that would be my opinion anyway. Like, that's what I think our man David Barry should have been getting. Should have been life, because he's a sick individual, man, preying on young boys like that. We drive on then, guys, from that case, and we go above to County Clare, where the Gardaí have seized 51,000 euro worth of cannabis plants in Kilrush. So this was above in Kilrush. Was this yesterday? The Gardaí in West Clare have seized 51,000 euro worth of suspected cannabis in Kilrush following 2 separate investigations. During a search of a house at around 8 p.m. on Tuesday, Gardaí discovered 60,000 suspected cannabis plants with an estimated value worth 48,000 euro. In an unrelated search then, also on the same evening, a further 3,000 euro worth of suspected cannabis plants were discovered. No arrests have been made, but the Gardaí are following definite lines of inquiry as part of an ongoing operation targeting the cultivation of drugs in West Clare. The suspected drugs will now be sent for Forensics Science Ireland for analysis. So again, what a wasted opportunity here. There's one individual who has 60 plants on the go. So look, that's an opportunity for a business to be made. Look, he would have had to hired somebody to sell that cannabis if it was legal to do so. Again, income tax there for those individuals being paid their wage. Their wages would have been spent within the local community, thereby stimulating the economy. Isn't it all great? What a missed opportunity. Then in the other case, 3,000 euro worth of cannabis plants, they're saying. Well, at 8,000 euro or 800 euro a plant, there's either 3 or 4 plants after being caught here in this case. I imagine it was probably 4 plants and they just messed up the value. It should have been 3,200, if that's right. Yeah, 3,200 that should have been if it was 4 plants, 800 euro a plant. So again, that's just somebody who's going to grow at home. There was literally multiple cops went into somebody's house and took their plants over the week during the week. That's not only an invasion of a person's property or in privacy, but that's an invasion of their home. And then you're now making them rely again on the black market. A person who's out there growing 3 or 4 cannabis plants for their own personal consumption should not be the target of the Gardaí. Again, I would argue that nobody should be the target of the Gardaí for the sale of drugs unless they're doing it illegally. But the government first need to provide a legal avenue in which for them to do it. Just so bloody backwards. Like, again, 51,000 euro there, you know, worth of cannabis plants. They're saying, you know, if we were to slap a 23% tax on that again, you know, you're talking somewhere in the region of, is it about €10,000 to about €12,000 maybe. So again, €12,000, like that would be an amazing amount of money if you were to give it to a local soccer team. Imagine what a local soccer club could do with €12,000. And here's our government just pissing it down the bloody drain. We're wasting money in order to prevent people to sell this out there, when we should be doing the complete opposite. We should be capitalising off this. Cannabis is everywhere. It's ubiquitous in Irish society. There's not a person out there who doesn't know somebody who would be able to give them cannabis, you know. If they don't know somebody, they know somebody who knows somebody, you know. And that's for definite. I would say 99% of people would know somebody who knows know somebody, and 100% of people would know somebody who knows somebody. You know, that's how prolific cannabis is out there, and the government are doing the public a disservice by continuing its prohibition any longer. If a person wants to be able to grow cannabis plants for their own use, the government should have no business getting involved in that. What business do they have getting involved in that? How does that serve the public any good at all? It's completely counterproductive to serving the greater good of the public. And in more cases above, in kind of the Midlands, in County Kildare, there was a man arrested after 494,000 worth of drugs were seized. This was above in County Kildare very recently. One man was arrested after the drugs were seized, and there was also €22,450 in cash also seized during the operation. The gardaí attached to the detective unit in Newbridge obtained a search warrant in relation to stolen property, and during the course of the search, cannabis herb with a street value of €220,000, cannabis resin with a street value of €214,000, and cocaine with a street value of €60,000 was seized. So again, you know, they were going out there investigating one thing, and they accidentally came across something else. So again, what that story is telling me, should the Gardaí have not been investigating the report of stolen property, they would not have found €500,000 worth of drugs, meaning €500,000 worth of drugs would have been successfully delivered to people on the streets. And again, major missed opportunity here. 23% tax on that. Look, and you're talking about again about €100,000 plus again there for the taxpayers, or for the communities that could be fed back into. Instead, no, it's going into the organised crime gangs who are out there then recruiting our kids into their gangs and giving them guns and knives to do untold violence on our street. Scary times we live in, but the guards, you know, getting their old tweet out there as they love to do. Again, somebody was paid to put this tweet out, and they were typing it thinking, oh yeah, this is great, like I'm doing a good job here. And then they shared the old pictures of the drugs that were seized as well. So you can see here again, quite a quantity of drugs. All of this is going to be destroyed. Much of this would have benefited many people out there who do rely on the organised crime gangs in order to deliver them cannabis, because cannabis for many people is actually a medicine. So this is going to be destroyed now, and in doing so, they're going to destroy a portion of somebody's medicine in that. Silly, like, you know, silly games. John, you see here more drugs all bagged up, and you see the cash then there as well in the bag. Sad, like, what a waste of taxpayers' money, and hopefully sometime soon we will see a change to this. You know, we have Geno's Kenny's bill that will be up there later on this year before the government seeking to legalise and regulate the sale and supply of cannabis in Ireland. Fingers crossed that'll be successful. Fingers crossed that we'll see a lot more action out there on the streets to support that bill also, in order to get more action from our government. Because again, this is something that could be solved really easy. The government could decriminalise the possession of drugs overnight, and they could come up with regulations in order to provide safe and regulated avenues for people to get access to their drug. You know, they could do that rather easily. Other issues out there such as homelessness or hospitals and things like that, these are definitely more complex issues, but these are the issues that they want to talk about then, but they don't want to talk about the actual ones they can really solve, the ones that there's real fucking viable solutions there for. I just don't understand it at all. But we drive on from there and we go off to another news story, again highlighting the failure of prohibition, where above in Dublin there was €16,000 worth of drugs seized, And in the seizure, there wasn't just one type of drug. There was multiple types of drugs. And there's an old tweet there from the Gardaí. And you see, I haven't seen these bags in ages, actually, the old Kappa bags. Isn't that the Kappa logo with the old chick sitting there, like lounged out like that? I haven't seen those baggies in ages, in fairness. I definitely got a few bags of weed with those before. But here you see them containing what, I'm not too sure. I would imagine they're probably ecstasy pills, as it says here in the tweet. That was found in the seizure was heroin, crack cocaine, ecstasy, and also some cutting agent. So a nice mix of drugs. These were discovered inside in a vacant apartment as well, and there was no arrest made in connection with this. So sad day for the Gardaí, I suppose. Really, they didn't catch anybody, but that seems to be a kind of a repeating theme there with the Gardaí, with no arrests have been made, but investigations are ongoing. Do you know, the criminals are smart out there, in fairness, like using a vacant property in order to deal out of, like, you know, where have we seen that before? Oh yeah, Limerick. And it was this guy above in Limerick who brought up that story. And this is Maurice Quinlivan. Maurice Quinlivan is a TD for representing Sinn Féin. And I would have covered Maurice Quinlivan's speech above in the Dáil a couple of months ago, where he gave a very impassioned speech about drug dealing going on above in the St. Mary's housing estate in Limerick. And not long after that impassioned speech then was there a massive operation carried out in the St. Mary's housing estate, where there was loads of drugs seized from, again, a vacant property that was being used by the drug dealers. Again, I don't think there was any arrests that were after being made in that case, that I'm aware of anyway. But the drug dealers have now moved to a new estate. So well done, Maurice. Like, you know what I mean? Great work. So Maurice, not long after that raid went on, Maurice went straight onto Facebook, onto Twitter and stuff in order to give himself an old pat in the back. Do you know, oh, I'm a great boy, aren't I? Look what I done. I was in the Dáil and I said this, and the Gardaí then went and done that because I said this. Aren't I great? Give me a pat in the back, everybody. Come on, like, tell me I'm great. Like, that's exactly what he's doing. Like, he's benefiting off the war on drugs. If he really wants an honest and a well-deserved pat in the back, he should be out there calling for an end to this foolish war on drugs that sees it so easy for drug dealers to sell drugs in our communities. That's what he should be out there doing. Instead, no, he went out there and he said he'd play the game of a prohibitionist call for a crackdown on these drug dealers. And when he gets results, then go out to the community and say, I did this. Do you know? That's exactly what he went and done. And I called him out for it straight away. Like, I went and made posters and shit like that, because this wasn't long after the Carl Hart event as well, when Professor or Dr. Carl Hart brought it up that we need to start calling out these individuals who are benefiting off of the war on drugs, because that's exactly what he is going and doing. He's benefiting off of the war on drugs. He's out there taking praise and you know, even praising himself for these kind of clampdowns, and all they actually do is just move the problem from one area to another area, or in fact what can often happen as well is it actually just makes the problem worse in the area, because you remove the bigger drug dealer, that creates a vacuum within the area. So now there's a power struggle. There's going to be a fight between whoever remains in the area in order to kind of capture the market that was once held by whoever was removed out of the area. So this is what you're doing. Again, what comes to mind is that fucking Hercules when he's fighting the Hydra and he chops the head off. And guess what happens, Herc? 3 more heads came out. And he chopped those off and 9 more heads came out. And do you know what I mean? And so on and so on. That's exactly what's been going on over the last... How many decades have we had this war on drugs? How many drug dealers have we locked up? How long can we lock them up for? You know what I mean? Go back to that case there that I talked about earlier, and I brought it up. Sorry, no, I'll get this one up in this one. Yeah, it was the comment from the guard in the case where he gave him 15 years. The guard, Inspector John Healy, said the 15-year sentence imposed on Tanner sent out a very clear signal that if people want to engage in criminal activity at this level, there will be a price to be paid at some stage down the road. Well, guess what? That was a couple of years ago that 15-year sentence was handed down. There's been many 15-year sentences like it as well handed down before it. And did it deter anybody from getting involved in the scene, in the industry? No, it did not. Fuck no. When you've got millions of euro on the line and you can go out there and make it easily, you don't even have to pay taxes on it, and you can recruit kids to do your bidding as well. Like, you'd be a fool not to do it. Like, if you're already unemployed and of that kind of socioeconomic bracket where you it's just more easier to do that, you know. It's much more harder when you're a person from a social welfare kind of class, really, to kind of come up in life, you know. You have to start low and go slow and work, and you're climbing up that ladder, and it's a struggle. And for many people, they just opt for the easy option. For many of the young fellas out there, and I know a good few young fellas now, even growing up, 15, 16, and you know, they're out there, and they've messaged me. I've gotten messages, and I should probably bring up the message and hold their identity, but it was just like, yeah, you're bang on, Martin. I sell cannabis to my friends, and I buy it off of another fella. I just get a 50 bag or a quarter every week or two, and meanwhile I'm selling to my friends. I've got you know, a drug dealer who I owe money to, and so on, so on. You know, I've gotten these kind of messages from people. And it's you know, these sentences, they do nothing. They do not know. The only thing that does, that costs us, the taxpayer, about 100 or 1.5 million euro to lock a drug dealer up for 15 fucking years. That's all we're getting out of it, is a tax bill. There's no other benefit seen to society at all from locking somebody up for 15 years. There's no benefit at all from going out clamping down on drug dealers in areas, because all you're going to do is empower other drug dealers in that area or from outside of that area to come in and compete for the market. Just end this war on drugs once and for all. Make our society a better place to live, a safer place for our kids to come up in. We don't need these organised crime gangs out there with guns, with knives, and you know, just that kind of a lifestyle just should not be existing in Irish society. And it's only possible because of prohibition. Prohibition enables this sort of lifestyle, this kind of a drug dealing lifestyle of criminality. That just wouldn't exist if a person was able to go into a Boots and be able to purchase their 1 gram of cocaine for their night out, or whatever it is that they want to be buying their gram of cocaine for. There's not going to be the Kinahans out there making billions or millions or whatever, hundreds of millions of billions, whatever they're making off it, you know, because it's a lot of money that they're making off it right now. And why in the name of God would you go and buy off the Kinahans when you can buy off of your trusted local pharmacy? Do you know? Think about it. and yeah, Ross is pointing out, I was one of those youngsters a few years back, and so were my brothers before me. Yeah, like, that's it. Like, it's a vicious cycle, and that's kind of why that's why I'm here doing this today. I just don't want to see this repeated any longer. The only way you're going to see change from this kind of cyclical nature, where things are just repeating generation after generation, is when a few people within the generations kind of stand up and say, hey, come here, no, let's turn back. We're going the wrong fucking way about things right now. Everybody pull a U-turn and head back the other way. We need these people shouting, there's a cliff ahead, we're going to go off the cliff if we don't stop running now. Like, you know, there's many people after going off the edge of the cliff already because of these stupid bloody policies. So that's it for today, guys. A rather quick one, actually. Got done in 13 minutes. Fucking hell, we flew through it today. But we'll bait back into your comments, guys, as always. But before I do that, I have a bowl packed up here that I've been just kind of... it's tempting me all along. I could smell it drifting my way. So we'll blaze this one up, and we'll get stuck into some of your comments, guys, right now. So a little civil disobedience, guys, on the way. If you got it out there, if you're not already blazing on up, yeah, torch them. So the comments, guys, Podge is 5 days awake now, man. That is a bomber, Podge. And is that simply because you've no access to herb, dude? Sorry to hear that, man. I wish I could help you out. If I don't know, if you're up around the city tomorrow, I've a little bit of herb here. I can roll one up, and you're more than welcome to call up and take one away with you to help you maybe get some sleep. Sorry, man. Sorry to hear that. DB Woodcraft saying system is effed. It is. It is. It's incredibly messed up. But it's up to us, the people, to change it like that. That's where the power lies. again, don't forget, we live in a democracy. Like, that's the one thing we have to remember out there. In order for democracy to work, people have to speak up. And well done to well done to Russell Banta yesterday for coming on and speaking with me on the podcast. It wasn't an easy thing to do. As he said, he got in touch with me many months ago and he was going to do it then, but nerves and things like that kind of got in the way and he hesitated. And then just a little bit later, he built up the courage and he came on and joined me. And I was much appreciated at that as well. And I hope more people kind of just, build up that courage to come out from behind whatever curtain it is that you might be hiding behind, and whatever closet it is that you might be hiding in. As I say, I always kind of admire the gay community for what they did to overcome the stigma that they were facing in society, and the coming out of the closet. That was it. That was the instrumental thing in the gay community overcoming the stigma and the discrimination that they faced. Is coming out of the closet and saying, hey, we're here, we're queer, get used to it. You know what I mean? These kind of sayings, these kind of chants, and committing their gay prides and stuff like that. We need this as well. The 10th of July, guys, this is your opportunity for Cannabis Pride. 10th of July up there above in Dublin's Phoenix Park, kicking off at 2 p.m. for the major smoke up. This is everybody's opportunity to come out and be a part of a massive, major crowd. And just express your views, your opinions by just being present, turn up. Like, that's the most important thing. That's all it is really required of you on the day, is to just turn up, guys. Please, I'm begging everybody to just turn up. And I'd imagine there's out there, the audience now, there's 48 of you out there watching right now, and I would imagine all 48 of you are probably going to turn up. Unless you're living outside of Ireland, but even then you're probably going to be there with us in spirit. But I hope, just bring a friend, as Russell said yesterday, that if you all go out there and just tell one more friend about this, that's it's going to be over 98 people told now, or 96 people told. So, just keep spreading the word, guys. Together we can overcome this, and it's people power, we're all in this together. Slime or slime? Okay, bro, just saying you need to get sleep. I can get you some milk. Bit of hot milk there. I'd say Podge is well past the hot milk anyway. Yeah. Nice one, Jimmy's touchdown, and nice one, Jimmy, as well, for signing up to the Patreon. I see Jimmy Touchdown signed up to the Patreon there yesterday, so thanks very much for your pledge. Much appreciated. And to everybody else out there who has signed up to the Patreon or supported the show in any other way, I see Dave got in a super chat there as well earlier on in the show, thanks very much for that, Dave. You're a legend. And Irish there as well, getting the hosting over on Twitter, helping get the message out further as well. Thanks very much, guys. You're an amazing community. Dr. Pisces guitar channel. Oh my god, that's effing horrible. Irish justice system needs to be overhauled. Majority of our tax money should not be used to protect pedophiles. Yeah, so I would agree with you there as well. I think there needs to be much tougher cases brought. Like, if a person is up for multiple sexual assault charges, that there should be no way that they're able to serve a 5-year sentence for 29 charges. It should be a 5-year sentence for every one of the charges, and he has to serve them all individually, meaning he's 29 charges. He has to do what's that, nearly 300 years in prison? No, sorry, 145 years in prison. So that's how long he should be getting. 145 years would have been, for me, I would have seen that as being just, make sure the fecker rots inside of there, like those kids, man. Sick. 100% doctor. The place is corrupt cesspool at this place, at this stage. Definitely Mustawas. This is everything that's wrong with the system, pods. Yeah, it's so backwards. And Ross Dr. Greenthumb saying, poor Vera still can't get access to medical cannabis access program, and Alicia, talk to Vera and bring Alicia home. Yeah, it is really, it's so messed up that Alicia and Vera, because of the backwards way in which they're doing things with cannabis medicine, Alicia is stuck in Alicante because she got access to the license and the price was just too much of a barrier. She's getting it much cheaper over in Alicante, and if she was to come home to Ireland, she pretty much just wouldn't be able to afford it. the cost of living here is fucking outrageous anyway, as it is with rent and all of this shit. Like, you know, never mind having to pay for your medicine then as well. On top of that, a medicine that was €2,500 every 3 months for Alicia. And then you have Vera, who has to cough out €10,000 every 3 months. The government will reimburse it then afterwards, like, but she still has to front that. Then you have other patients such as Kenny Tynan, who again the government just would refuse point blank to cover the cost of his medicine, and that's seen him having to rescind his license. He never continued to reapply for it. So he's now medicating illegally out there. All because of the stupid medical cannabis access program, because of the silly prohibition of cannabis, and because of ignorant politicians. We would quite happily spend €100,000 a year to lock somebody up for cannabis, but to help somebody with cannabis, and it would cost maybe somewhere in the region of maybe 15 for Vera, let's say, for example, €40,000 a year. To help Ava, that would be €40,000 a year. The government would be paying for that. Do you know? And they're making that incredibly hard for many other patients. Imagine if that was Kenny's. Kenny's was probably a bit cheaper, I think, and they wouldn't pay for that. But if Kenny got caught growing cannabis of his own, the government would have no problem in locking Kenny up for however many years a judge might see fit, at a cost of €100,000 a year to the taxpayers. And yeah, I'll definitely check my Insta there as well shortly. DB, nice one for the comment. But yeah, we've certainly got a very backwards way in which we're doing things here. We're treating patients and things like that all bloody wrong. You know, I just don't understand it. Sorry, just looking through your comments there. Podge, yeah, my appetite is completely gone just on tea at the moment, even though I am walking a lot, trying to knacker myself out, but still going. And that's sorry to hear that again, Podge. As I think I recommended things to you before as well, and I think you said you tried them. So feck, man, I'm kind of out of the days. But again, if you happen to be around the city later today or even tomorrow, man, I have a little bit of herb here, and I'm more than happy to roll you up on there too, and hopefully that might get you a night's sleep. John saying, I've given up commenting on the Gestapo Pussbook page because it only drives the algorithm of their page up. Yeah, I've said that as well, John. That's what the Gardaí want, you know, for you to interact with their tweets and their posts on Facebook and stuff, because it drives up their stats at the end of the year. And again, as I said, there's somebody out there getting paid that, and they want to be able to go in at the end of the year or whenever it is that their performance is being assessed and say, look, I got 100,000 comments on Facebook this year. Aren't I great? And yeah, a lot of that would have been people slating them, absolutely slating them for arresting people for cannabis. Oh, they always have a tweet ready for this. Yeah, they certainly do, Ross. Hype TCK, probably be cheaper buying cannabis than valerian tea, just can't find any ethically at the moment, I think is the problem. Excuse me. Yeah, valerian is another good option there as well, just to kind of help relax you and get you to sleep. But yeah, obviously it's thing. Podge, doesn't he look like a massive prick with that grin? Yeah, on about our buddy Sod. Sean O'Donovan, like, he's aptly named too, isn't he, in fairness, like, Sod. Oh, we won't make him disappear. There he is, like, you know, what a douche, like. Or were you on about Morris, actually? You could have been on about Morris there as well. Those were the two people. He has a bit more of an old grin on him. Two idiots. God boy, what's going on? God boy, we appreciate your hard work, Martin. Not a bother at all. I appreciate you being out there in the audience and joining me here in the show and leaving your comments as well. Thanks very much. You can still get weed in St. Mary's Park. Your man done fuck all. That's right. Look at that. That's what I was saying. He went on the media and praised the Gardaí and praised himself, you know. Oh, the Gardaí responded to my comments in the dial, you know. Yeah. Grow your own, exactly, Casa. Everybody should be growing their own. Hype TCK, I was looking at his mouth and couldn't see it, and then I see the prickly smile in his eyes. Other comments, You get those seeds. Yeah, I just reading through them. Shining on the bucket. It's who you are now, Ross. Sorry, guys, just reading through the comments, just seeing what's aimed at me. DB Woodcraft, not yet, unless they came into this morning. I'm at work since 7. Find out when I get home. Thanks, but really appreciated. And well done there, Irish Hemp Harvest as well. Sharing packs out there with people, helping people get access to some hemp seeds in order to feed the birds. Fair play. Mark Downey, great chatting the other night, Martin. That photo took is a stock image, not one of mine, unfortunately. Could have chatted all night. You're a legend. Not a bother at all, Mark. It was a pleasure, and I did look it up afterwards. Actually, do you know where that photo actually came from? It was a Chinese. It was a grow house where some Chinese nationals were found growing cannabis above in Dublin. At least that's kind of, once I done a Google search on the image, that's kind of where it came from. I wasn't able to find any actually with what we were talking about, and I won't go into that there at all, but it was great to chat with you. And again, look, if you ever want to come on here and talk about your own experiences, but I could understand why you might not want to. So yeah, that's cool, man. Nice one for the comment again. Russell, YouTube never notifies you about the stream, and I got all the bells on. That's a bummer, man. I don't understand that. Like, if you're subscribed to all, you should get a notification when I go live. I don't know why that is. I'll have to get onto YouTube and say I'm not happy about it. Man Falls, I reckon I'll be there anyways. Excellent, Man Falls. I look forward to meeting you above there, guys. I will put up. I'll aim to. I'll get my train ticket booked very soon if we don't have a bus going. And I'll let you know where we can all meet up above there just before the event in Dublin. Irish says, I'm all the way from Kerry. Best believe I'm making it. Good stuff, Irish. I look forward to it. Again, make yourselves known above there on the day, guys. I can't wait to meet each and as many of you as possible anyway. I won't see each and every one of you because that probably might not happen. Maybe, hopefully. Bring a friend or else. Go on, Russell. Ross, Dr. Green Thumb. Yeah, Vera has to fork out too much, and Alicia also. Yeah, Alicia can't even come home yet because of the bloody prohibitory costs. Other comments, guys. Hype TCK, after 5 days, a whiff of the grinder would have my eyes shut. The tolerance breaks are real, guys. Yeah, definitely. It kicks in quick enough. 5 days, like, you know, and boom, it hits you like a ton of bricks. Ross, Dr. Green Thumb, it's easier for me to get heroin hair than cannabis. That's sad. The hair really should be the other way around. Bogwan's son getting in the old chat there as well. Nice one for that, Bogwan's son. I actually want to pay taxes for cannabis, imagine. So a legend there for that one. Other comments out there, guys. 43 people watching on YouTube but only 20 likes. Come on, guys, hit that like button. And that's coming in from Podge. Nice one for that, Podge. And a nice one for the 43 of you for tuning in, guys. Notice, like, yeah, I know many people are probably tuned in, and like I do, I will watch the lads high and homegrown when I'm doing the dishes and stuff like that. So sometimes I just put it on and I might forget to hit that like button. But it's always when I see the boys in the comments then, and they're always reminding each other, like, lads, hit that like button, get the old interactivity up. So fair play, lads. Nice one for that. And shout out to the high and homegrown lads there as well. Haven't seen any of the crew in the comments yet, but I'm sure they're lingering out there somewhere. Support Unpunished. Dr. Carl Hart is tweeting that hashtag earlier. Excellent. Guys, actually, there you go. Well done. Nice one, Russell. I meant to mention it in the podcast or in the episode earlier. I should have had this as the very opening piece. Tomorrow in Cork City, I'm going to be kicking off Support Unpunish. I have a big cardboard cutout, where a person can stand behind it and show their support for the decriminalisation of the drug user. So it's going to be a social distance, a friendly event, and we're going to be gathering at about 2 o'clock outside of the Cork City Library. And if you're around the area at all, come on up, get your picture taken, show your support for the campaign. And even if you're not in the area, guys, you can still do so online. You can go and find a banner online. You can change your profile picture. You can use the support unpunished banner. And that'll just show your support for the campaign then as well, also online. So that's going to be tomorrow at 2 o'clock in Cork City. I'm going to be there along with a couple of other supporters and activists. So again, make yourself known if you happen to be in the city. Come on by and say hi and get your photo taken and show your support for the campaign. So again, guys, that's Support Unpunished. It's an annual day of action that is to call on the governments of the world to decriminalise the drug user. It's supported by people like Elton John, Richard Branson, and even Dr. Carl Hart. So again, guys, get involved. Even if you can't show up tomorrow in Cork, you can show your support online by getting the old banner switched up with your profile photos and all of that kind of jazz. So nice one to everybody who does support that. And as well, nice one, Russell, as well, for the reminder. And shout out to Carl Hart as well, I suppose, for helping you to remind me. Or that wasn't Russell, that was DB Woodcraft, actually. Sorry, DB, nice one for that reminder on Support Unpunished. You're a legend. Other comments then, guys. Ross Dr. Green Thumb says, I get the notification, I just can't always be there. Well, it's good to hear that some people get it, but I don't understand why not everybody is getting it. Ross Dr. Green Thumb, I haven't taken a tolerance break for a month or so. I haven't taken a tolerance break for about a year or so. Dennis Flynn says, in some states in America with a medical card, there is no tax on cannabis. Do you think they should implement that when we get cannabis legal here? 100%. There should be very little or no tax on a medical product. Russell Banta says, lads, only 35 on YouTube. Bring a friend to these. Definitely, guys, get it shared across all your social media platforms. As soon as you see a video is up live, just get it shared. Nice one, everybody. A session on tonight with the High and Homegrown. Be there. That's right. The after party, is it? Or the after session. I take a tea break at the end of every month, 7 days or so. That suits me, and it's healthy, I find. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it, you know. I used to normally do kind of 5 days. I used to not really smoke while, at least I used to smoke as much during kind of Monday to Friday, and then come Friday, then I would talk away then. But yeah, 7 days is a nice old tolerance break then as well, at least once a month. Kitmore, the first smoke after a tolerance break is like an LSD trip for me. Nice. Dave Gorman, come on down to County Cork. Everybody should come down to County Cork. We should abandon the rest of the counties and everybody should just come to Cork for the day. It's a great old place. Ross Dr. Green Thumb, I must try a tolerance break for a month. Good luck on. Husky also does tolerance breaks. Husky takes 6 to 8 hour tolerance breaks when he sleeps. Good stuff, Husky. Bhagwan's son, it's very good for some. Can only speak for myself, but for the head it helps. And Podge 85, I'm actually doing that hopefully tomorrow night after a day of fishing with a buddy. Nice, and best of luck out there fishing, man. Tight lines and all that. What's that? I haven't smoked since 10 a.m. and that's because I have to drive, and that's Daily Talker. Good stuff, Daily Talker. It'll hit you well once you go home and you don't have to drive anymore. Hebsy girl, does Martin ever take a break? What a legend. Always flat out, hard at it, like a shark, always moving. Never rests. And that, yeah, the shark, like, they have to stay swimming. They have to keep the old water moving through their gills or they die. But I think they do sleep all right. Bhagwan's son, I even sleep as well, I suppose. Bhagwan's son, being about a half an hour for myself. Wooden cheesecake, nice. Well, man, I would love some cheese, to be honest. I've haven't had any good cheese strains in a while. I just love the kind of just the pungy taste off the cheese and just the smell off the buds as well. Really nice old strain, in fairness. John Finnegan gets double notified on Pussbook and on YouTube. Good stuff, John. Nice to hear, man. Freedom of speech, wave the leaf. Yeah, nice one for that. Thoughts on how hemp can save the planet. Yeah, that's it. Um, Ross Dr. Green Thumb, I need a change of green. I've been getting mostly lemon haze and I need something different now. Yeah, as I've been saying, I've been talking on some critical kush for the last while. I'm not complaining, but yeah, I would certainly love some variety there and to be offered. Like, as I said, I'm going to pack up a bowl. Um, Outlaw posted again today. I haven't seen Outlaw stuff actually yet now today, so I'll have to go and check that out in a little bit. Um, even pop them up here now and just as I'm looking at it. Outlaw. Outlaw Manchester. What was he posting today? So 4 hours ago, he says, that's why they call me the realist. I'll get this up on screen here for everybody to see what I'm looking at. Add window capture. Boom, boom. Boom, there we go. So you can all see this there now. So Outlaw Manchester, that's why they call me the realist. Two more big compo claims this month from all awful police. If you need any help with suing the police, contact me on the email or go straight to at Outlaw Prosecution Service. And I'll cover all the court costs, even if you lose. But we haven't lost yet, though. Don't take that first payment when they know they've effed up, and make sure you know what you're saying. And this is a picture that he has up here then as well. So there, Mr. Whoever. Further to our previous conversation, I do acknowledge that PC something did not act within the parameters of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984, and I understand PC whatever is subject to disciplinary actions concerning this incident. Although the courts rarely award aggravated damages, I'm willing to consider such payment in this case due to the oppressive manner of the search and resulting arrest. The aggravated damages payment will be additional to a general damage payment. In total, this individual got £13,500. The cop went on to say, it is in my opinion that the organisation did not take the opportunity to learn from this incident, and it is my understanding that your request for a sincere apology from PC will be honoured. So fair play to Outlaw, and here's another one as well where an individual got 3.5 grand and also gets a bit of an apology as well for their unlawful arrest. So again, I have no hesitation in acknowledging that you had no involvement in the incident that was being investigated by PC whatever. So fair play to Outlaw, man. He has a book out there and all, £6 for his book out on Amazon. Bestsellers in English law. Number 1, policing the police. Fair play to him, man. He is doing some good work out there, in fairness. Like, this was his last post up there on the 21st then as well, when he was talking about some other test cases up there. So yeah, we'll pop that off the screen there again. So fair play to Outlaw. I've reached out to him. This is about the closest I've had him on the podcast. I've tried to get in touch with the dude, but he's a bit of a ghost as well as an outlaw. We'll blaze one up, guys. We'll blaze this one up in an offering to our whatever higher powers are out there, that they might help us get in touch with Outlaw and have him come our way so we can pick his brain and see how we can take some of that great stuff he's doing in the UK back here to Ireland. Other comments then. So guys, I haven't had cheese in a long time, but would love some nice white cheese and something else Peter Kelly's got. And Shy Some says some decent haze around at the moment as well. And Podge as well, effing jealous. Guys, come on, like, poor Podge. Hasn't had sleep in 5 days and here you are comparing all your different strains. Like, stop, like, shaming you. Says the guy who just had a bong hit. Sorry, Podge. 12 more likes for a full house, lads. Go on, guys, hit that like button. Nice one, everybody. And hit that share button as well if you're over on Facebook or anywhere else. Dave Gorman says, variety is the spice of life. That it is, my buddy. That it is. DB Woodcraft says, I think it was to do with more corrupt cops. What's the crack, sir? How big does a hemp plant need to be before it can go in the ground? It doesn't have to be. Like, you can actually put a seed right into the ground, but I suppose really you want it to be a couple of inches, I suppose. It would be maybe correct. Like, you know, you want it to be big enough and hardy enough to handle. So, you know, that would be the best answer for that. But really, like, you can start them right in the ground as well if you wanted to. But obviously you have more success by, you know, transferring them, what have you. Irish Hemp Harvest. Hey Martin, did you get an old package there this morning? Hope I didn't leave it in the wrong gaff. I did indeed, actually. I did indeed. I should have brought it up here, but I'm going to create a little video later on, and I'll do an unboxing later on, and I'll pop that up online for people to see. So nice one for that again, Irish Hemp Harvest. I appreciate that. Daily Talker as well. The bigger the plant, the bigger its chance for success. Yeah, that's another good way of looking at it as well for when transferring plants. Bogwan Son, I'm all for choices, and it's a dream to think of walking into a bud tender in Ireland. This protest can't come quick enough. It's a cannabis consultant we're calling him, Bogwan. Cannabis consultant. It's more professional, remember? Have to head out there, guys. Catch you later, people. And nice one for tuning in, pods, and have a nice evening and a good weekend. Would be amazing, all right, but remember, you can grow your own too, guys, and that's dead right, guys. Grow your own. Don't wait around for the government to give you permission to do so. And if you get caught doing it, guys, just challenge the charges. Fight for your rights. It's your right to do this. It's your right to be able to live your life and to be able to have access to what God provided to us. Every God-bearing plant and seed is there for our use as humans on this planet, like, you know, and we shouldn't be denied access to this, especially when it is only beneficial. It's not detrimental. So, you know, no government should take that away from us, and we shouldn't allow them either. DB Woodcraft says, if I follow or subscribe to someone, I always set notifications to all to keep up to date and recommend doing the same on all platforms. Good stuff, DB. A big class action against the cops would be good. I don't know law enough. Like, if I could, I would definitely be bringing cases against individual cops if that was even possible. I don't know if it's even possible. The unfortunate thing in this country is our legal profession are very unwilling to get involved in this at all unless they're getting paid. I don't have money to be paying these individuals to be coming out doing this, and they just accept the fact that this is illegal and they don't want to challenge the law. Because, you know, that's not what they're taught to do at all in college when they're being taught to be solicitors. It's go out there and enforce the law and uphold the law and twist the law to your benefit. Don't challenge the law at all to be changed. Especially when it's wrong, like. That'd be a terrible thing to do, wouldn't it? Michael Collins style, find out what they eat for breakfast. There you go, DB, that's it. That's the way of thinking. Podge85 says, don't be sorry at all, Peter. Enjoy, man. I'll have some in time. I hope so too, Podge. I hope the old weed fairy pays you a visit very soon, dude. Dave Gorman says, put her in the ground at around 3 weeks. Irish sunlight ain't great for cannabis plants. And Dawson's Creek says, myself in a car full of stones hotboxed the car before watching Planet of the Apes in the cinema. I hadn't smoked in a while and then had a panic attack during the movie and performed an Irish goodbye. And you corrected there for stoners. Yeah, a car full of stoners. Yeah, hotbox the car. It was that the drive-in cinema there that was down in Carricktool, I suppose. I definitely paid a visit to that drive-in cinema a number of times and had it incredibly hotboxed. And they used to be able to get a patchy delivered to the car. And your man would come up to the car and we'd have the windows up now and stuff, and your man would be giving us the pizza through the door or through the window, and he was getting hit, man. It was like a cloud just coming out, and you know, it was hilarious those few times. And you'd be underneath the canopy then as well, and you see the smoke rising up from underneath the canopy. Oh man, how the cops just didn't come in and rip us apart inside in that fucking drive-in cinema is beyond me. I know they kind of hung around outside at the times, but they never really came in there. And it wouldn't be really too hard to find which cars they had the target either. Like, but a great spot. It was sad to see it close down on us, to be honest. Um, and Adrian is out there as well, saying he's been visiting the city plant each night on my little nightly walk. And actually, guys, I want to update you on those plants. I paid a visit back to them there the other day, and one of them actually turned out to be female. I thought they were all male that I had planted there in the city, but one of them was actually female. So if you're paying a visit in there next time, try to have a look at them, and you'll see the difference between the male and female there in the city. And yeah, it's education. And unlike what the Blarney Gardens would have you believe, it's not a poisonous plant at all. Like. Casadas Dragas says every movement needs funding, and that's right. That's something I've seen as well. You know, you get a lot more done if you have access to money. And sadly, you know, I just haven't had access to money. If I'd had access to money over the years, a bottomless pit of money, I would have had some fucking incredible events, and been afforded some great speakers, and yeah, hired out some great venues as well. But you're fucking limited by funding and all of that stuff. Like, you know, people want to make money rather than just spend it. Shine in a Bucket had a plant completely stripped of its leaves by slugs and birds, just the stem left. Very surprised to see Toonie Louise growing on it now. Shine in a Bucket, remember, it is a weed at the end of the day, man. These things want to live. The plant is a hardy old fecker. As hard as it might be to get some good results out of it, it's still hard to outright kill it as well. Pad Whelan says, listening live from a little. Maybe I'll find them Liberty caps. They were actually psilocybin cyanosis. So that was the wavy caps, not Liberty caps in little. It might just be a little bit too early yet, though. Maybe next month, a bit more rain needed, I'd say. Shy Son says, plants can grow grand in Irish sun with no lights given the right care. And the right genetics as well. It's important to add that into. The right genetics are incredibly important. Irish goodbyes to tell him F off. Ryan Morey, no nice hash around, only dirt. Anyone with good hash can a fairy hit me up. Come on now, guys, no sourcing on the show. You're going to get me shut down. I just had to say that, I guess. Any weed fairies out there, hook Ryan up. Which one is male? The one with the balls on it, Adrian. The female then is the one that doesn't look like the other ones. It's lacking balls. So yeah, it's there's something similar to ourselves. The men have balls, the women don't. Ross Dr. Green Thumb says, where can you get the Liberty caps, lads? Not yet. August, September, and look to your local golf course, sheep fields, and just any kind of good fields like that don't get turned, where the soil isn't rotated. Shy Son says, well, hey, since Amelia and the city, fair play, Martin, we might have buds growing outside the Bridewell before long. There's already buds growing there, actually. When I went back to it there on Thursday evening, or Wednesday evening, I walked by to it, and there's actually little flowers now starting to form on one of the plants down there. It'll be another 8 to 9 weeks before they're even at their peak maturity yet, but still they're forming now, like, you know. So it's nice to see some pre-flowers there on it anyway, like some pistils and some calyxes and even a little bit of resin, so check them out, like. Sex in a plant is hard, Martin. You can't fully tell the sex till about 6 weeks old, but you can be right on an educated guess before 6 weeks old. Yeah, and a more accurate thing to go on actually would be outside of the age of the plant would be the number of nodes. So normally when you get to about 8 to 9 nodes, once the plant has about 8 to 9 nodes, then normally around the 5th node down or up from the bottom, you will see the first pre-flowers, probably the earliest. So there's a tip for you out there if you're looking to sex your plants. The female flower will show first around the fifth node once the plant has about 8 to 9 nodes on it. So that's the area to be kind of keeping an eye out on. And again, if you don't know what that looks like or something, get over to the Percy's Grow Room and check out male and female cannabis flowers, and you won't be long learning. Other comments, guys. The Republic of Dave. It would be pretty fun to see if someone happened to steal the cannabis plant from the Garden of Poisons. Just saying. Well, somebody stole one from the City Hall the time I planted it there. I planted one in the City Hall there about I don't know, about 6 or 8 months ago, however long ago it was now. And it wasn't about an hour later and the plant was gone. Somebody went straight down there and took it on. I would love to know if somebody actually brought it home and finished it. Like, and a nice one for subscribing there as well, Ryan, your legend. But I would love to know, again, if you're out there, if you happen to see this and you were the person who took that plant, like, let me know how it got on. I don't care that you took it. Like, I got what I wanted out of it. I got down there, I held my demonstration. I would have loved to have seen it grow there and thrive there, like, but the guy from the groundskeeping, the security, would have took it anyway. Like, it was inevitable. It was going to be taken anyway by the authorities. So I'm glad somebody else actually got it before them. So let me know if it was you. Get in touch. I see Renan out there as well. What's happening, Renan? Renan, I tried to give you a buzz the other day, but I must give you a buzz after the show again. And we must have an old convo about the journey up to Dublin. I've been talking about getting the train up, but I seen you were talking about trying to get a bus going as well. So if we can make that happen, we've got about 2 weeks now to get the bus organised. So let's make that happen, Renan. If not, then let's get a group of us going on the train. That'll be just as easy. What else is out there? Or who else is out there? Offer a drive to inspect an outdoorsy lady. Enjoy your Miss Towers, and safe journey out there. Other comments. The Ronan says the DSB and cunts around and hassling people who look like stoners with the typical I can smell cannabis routine. Yeah, is that going on again at the moment, Ronan, man? Have you heard a few cases? I'd imagine you probably would meet people out there as well a bit more than I would. I get messages in here from time to time, but I suppose you meet people there on the daily who could probably have a bit more interactions, you know. Other comments out there as well. Adrian, I walk by every night. Will keep you updated. Yeah, it's nice to see. I seen your post there as well up on Instagram, Adrian. So nice one for the tagging those as well. Keep on getting the pictures, man, and keep on putting it up there. Keep on using those hashtags as well. Hashtag bring Ava home, or bring Ava home, bring Alicia home, and talk to Vera. So those are the two hashtags when you get a picture of those plants, guys. Hashtag bring Alicia home and hashtag talk to Vera. So make sure you're banging those hashtags to the pictures as well, and give Martin's World a tag there as well while you're at it, sure. Ronan, yeah, happened yesterday. Pity, man. Was it yourself that they done it to, was it? Or was it somebody you know? I hate hearing this stuff, like, but look, man, 10th of July, it's going to be our opportunity to unite, and we'll be a force not to be reckoned with by those cops. Then they arrest one of us and it's going to be problemsome for them. Peaceful protest. Dave Gorman, oh yeah, the plant will grow, but it won't be a great, she will be slow. Yeah, exactly. I don't mind. Once I see it grow, happy feckin' days. There is a Bridewell in Cork too. If we hear Bridewell, we automatically think Garda. Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, Bridewell is the city centre Garda station. Shitty one. Well, to be honest, if you want to get sex a plant early, just switch your light to 12-12 for a week, then switch back to veg. Sex should show. Yeah, that's another way of doing it as well. That could cause a bit of stress in the plant as well. But look, some people don't mind. Some people are wanting to find out the sex kind of sooner. It's kind of like myself. We were at the hospital today getting the scan of the baby, like, and we had the opportunity to find the sex. And I'm just like, no, I can wait, man. I like surprises. When I've grown regular cannabis seeds before as well, I didn't mind waiting as well. I liked training each and treating them all well, and growing the plants well and finding out which one was then in time. No rush. Good things come to those who wait. It's gonna be like Christmas morning then when you're opening up, the tent, and it's like, oh yes, I finally found the female. Celebrations. um. Ah, you got a new number, Ronan. Bang me a message there anyway, Ronan, and we'll get in touch and sort things out. John O'Dowd, get your seeds evergreen, lads. 250 grams for 10,000 plus seeds for €3. So that's evergreen.ie, guys, if you want to get some hemp seeds. Teresa O'Connell, Martin, are we not doing Amy and going up? Was it not are we doing the night before in Amy's? I thought it was that night, or were we doing the night before and that night as well? Yeah, sorry, I must have messed plans up there. I thought we were doing the Saturday night at Amy's, but yeah, look, we can converse there in the chat later on, Teresa. John as well, me all Martin is just about ready to harvest the plant you gifted him. I'd say that's well harvested, I'd say. Outside the shop they're hassling them. Oh man, that's a bummer, run on. Other comments out there, sorry. We need smoke bombs that smell like cannabis to set off everywhere and sit back and watch. That's a good idea, actually. Like, terpene soaked smoke or fuse or smoke grenades. That'd be really fucking cool, actually. Drive the cops mad. Train prices are cheap at the moment. Nice offer online that's coming in from Bogwan Son. Nice one there for that, Bogwan. I'll have to check them out soon if we don't get the bus organised. DB Woodcraft said, I spread the word about the smoke up with a barber friend of mine. Knows loads of peeps. Hope it helps. I'm trying to get off work but not looking good. Yeah, that's unfortunate if you can't get off work, but fucking, you know what, at least you tried anyway, and you'll be there in spirit, and I'm sure, look, you've spread the word anyway, man. That's also a nice contribution to be able to make, so fair play. And Hype TCK, not even cannabis, just something to lead police on a wild goose chase. Drive the drug dogs mad and get a load of what's it called? Carafilline is the name of the terpene. And that's the one that the drug dogs are actually trained to sniff out. So yeah, set a load of that stuff off. Sorry, just packing up another bowl here as well. Actually had some lovely dinner there a while ago as well, and we had an old glass of red wine with it, and just still sipping away nicely here. Lovely. Red wine actually pairs very nicely with cannabis herb. Just coats the palate very nicely and just kind of, it really keeps the cotton out of the way then as well, but you also have to have a bit of ishka there then as well. Drink sensibly, guys. Yeah, cheers, guys. Hope everybody's good out there. I'll get through the last of the comments and I'm going to sign off then, guys, in the next 5 minutes. So if you got any more comments, get them on in there. If you got any questions you want to ask, get them on in there. And yeah, I'll blaze this one up. Free to eat, Skywalker OG. Yes. Excuse me. Ooh. Oh, tasty. Other comments, guys. Have you or no, I spread the word about the smoke up. Oh yeah, I've read that one actually. I'd be needing that THC, David Gorman. Shining on a bucket, any use for the male plants, like they would be good to eat or anything like that. The male plants are good for collecting pollen in order to produce seeds. The leaves off the male plants would be good, like spinach, I suppose, definitely would be good in a salad and stuff like that as well. But outside of that, then really you've fiber, and that's about it. Then really, like the male doesn't have any other real uses that I'm aware of outside of the fiber, the pollen, and potentially the leaves. Then as well, if you were to consume them. Yeah, not else. Protests, they're good for protests. If you got some male plants, plant them out in the local roundabout. the local flower pot, or just somewhere public, just for the crack. Like local flower or local weed growers might hate you for it because the pollen might get on their garden. But look, fuck it, like we need to get it out there. Um, yeah, only use male for breeding. Yeah, that's Dave saying that. Shy son as well. Male plants are good for eating and do have a little bit of THC. Not worth the hassle growing them. And to be honest, yeah, that's because if you cop with them, the cops are going to value them at 800 fucking euro. Imagine that, like imagine I got caught with five male plants and one female plant, and the cops would have turned around and said, what was it, €6,000 worth of cannabis, or however much it would have been. But meanwhile, the males actually, sure, they wouldn't have even produced any cannabis, but they still would have got away with saying €800 per plant in the court. Hilarious. Yeah, weed and red wine, nice combo. It is actually, in fairness, like from the Cut their own region. Yeah, over there where I was in college actually for a short period in Dijon. I drank many a bottle of it actually, and was getting it for as cheap as like, was it €2 or €3 a bottle over there, man? It was super nice, really good. And we only had hash over there then as well because we couldn't get access to weed. But yeah, first world problems, boys. See you tomorrow, Fiends, City Library, 2 o'clock. Yeah, definitely, Shy Son. See you down there, 2 o'clock, City Library, 2 to 4 o'clock. Come on down, get your photo taken. Hang around there as well, get involved if you'd like. I'm going to have the megaphone there. I'm going to have a speaker there as well with a microphone. And yeah, we should have a good old day of it. John Finnegan, see you later, guys. Have to do some transplanting. Enjoy that, John. Have a nice evening. A nice one for tuning in. Take the pollen from them and trade that. What date is the protest in Dublin, Martin? It's the 10th of July at 2 p.m. And it's kicking off in the Dublin Phoenix Park. So shouldn't be too hard to find. There's a big monument in... excuse me, sorry. There's a big monument there in the Dublin's Phoenix Park. I don't know what it's called. I should know, but I don't know. But it's above in Phoenix Park anyway. You will smell us before you see us. Now I had a panic attack inside the regular cinema in the city after ODing on weed in the car beforehand. I went to the bathroom twice with the sweets before movie started, then left with ape when the ape roared in English. You can trade the pollen for whatever you need. Wine is real cheap in France. Hash, nice too. Yeah, the hash was okay as well. It was alright, but the lads selling it and down there, like the Arab dudes, they weren't the greatest dudes to be dealing with. They actually robbed one or two of the other students that we were over there with as well, because look, they were a bit innocent and more intimidable, unfortunately, and got taken advantage of, as happens because of prohibition. Can we get 2 more likes in the stream? Can we get 2 more likes in the stream, guys? Dave is asking. Can somebody keep Dave happy? Please, guys, do it for Dave. And yeah, have a good weekend, everybody. Irish Hemp Harvest is staying there as well. The Pope visited there once. Are you streaming it live tomorrow? I'll definitely do a segment of it live, as I'll be down there for 2 hours. There's probably going to be a speech element to it, so I'll definitely try to get the speech up live. So yeah, we will have some live streaming done tomorrow as well, so keep an eye out for that as well up on it's probably going to be on YouTube. I might just stream it to YouTube or else Facebook. I don't know, can I stream it to 2 of them? Never have good results when trying to use the multi-stream out and about through the phone, but we'll see what happens. We might troubleshoot it beforehand and try to perfect it, get it right tomorrow for a change. Dawson's Creek, only other time I had a panic attack was after 3+ days of taking speed. Oh my god, I hate this stuff. You know it's bad when a kilo costs about 30 quid. Major panic attack on the come down. Oh man. Pollen's worth way more than seeds, and that's coming in from Ross Dr. Greenthumb. And yeah, DB Woodcraft got mugged by 3 Arabs in France. So again, look, that's kind of similar to what happened over there as well. With the lads, they got threatened, and they just kind of gave them what they had, and they walked away. There was no fucking attack and stuff. They got lucky. DB Woodcraft saying, do some shorts on YouTube. There's actually already a shorts page, guys. Whoops. I'll get it up on the page there now for you to see it. Your channel. There we go. So there is, here it is up on the screen now. So this is Martin's World Eclipse. So check that one out over on YouTube if you haven't done so already. There's a couple of people already after subscribing to it. So nice one for that, whoever that was. But yeah, there you see it anyway. Martin's World Clips. There's 6 subscribers, so thanks to the 6 of those there as well, and thanks very much as well to the listener of the show, to a volunteer who got in touch, who took the time to do this and create these clips. You know, it is much appreciated. Someone was able to do this for me, and yeah, I'm forever grateful for the great community that's developing just around this show. So thanks very much, guys, for that. So Martin's World Clips, guys, check it out. Subscribe over on YouTube, and you'll get like just shorter snippets of excerpts from the 420 news and other bits and pieces like that as well. So I see somebody disliked the video as well, lads. We'll have to find them. Find them. Right. It's our local Garda watching the stream doing the disliking. It was Frank Doink. Ah, lads. Laugh out loud, the feckin' rashers. The feckin' rashers. Yeah. Right, guys, I'm going to leave you at that, because I'm going to have to catch up with the guys at the Patients for Safe Access Ireland, and as well, just to plug their pages as well. If you haven't seen this already, check out the guys at the Patients for Safe Access Ireland. Yeah, that's their website over there as well, patientsforsafeaccess.com. And yeah, I guess sign up if you haven't done so already. If you're a patient out there, if you're using cannabis, if you'd like to share your story with us as well, we have a section up here with the patient's stories. So if you'd like to be a part of this patient story section, get in touch and we'll include you inside in this, because we have a number of patients up there as well. So go over and check them out. There's some very, again, you know, I don't know how to describe these. Like, you know, it's just very unfortunate that these people have to share their stories, like, because some of them, if I was to start reading them here, like, they'll cut you, man. They're emotional. It's very sad. Oh, our buddy John. Go on, John is up there as well. Go on, John. We have Stephen up there. And Williams. And there you go, like, so that's the people who've got involved so far above there. So get over and check it out, guys, if you haven't done so already. So that's the patientsforsafeaccess.com. So right, guys, I love you and leave you. I'll see whoever I see tomorrow at 2 o'clock down outside of the Cork City Library. And to the rest of you beautiful people out there, I will see you back here on Monday at the good old time of 4:20 for some more 420 news. Much love, guys. Stay blazed out there and keep her lit. Peace.